Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sy'Monne, and today's video I'm going to be discussing the pros and cons of waitressing, aka being a server. So I have served at this current place for about 2 years now. I've worked there for about 4 before that I hosted, but I have served at 2 other locations. So I wrote down a list of pros and cons of waitressing. So I'm going to go over the cons first. If you don't know already, I do lifestyle beauty content, pretty much whatever I feel like posting. I have a Instagram, I have a TikTok and a Twitter, so be sure to follow me there. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe, and check out my website. I sell lashes and I'm wearing a pair of my lashes right now. They are called Queen. They are faux mink and they are on sale for 50% off on the entire site right now, so go ahead and check that out. All right guys, so let me take a little drinky drink. This was everything to me back in middle school when I used to play track. Y'all didn't know thirst until you ran track, bro, and you had one of these at your disposal. Everybody had a freaking power rating. I remember those days, the good old days. I never got to play sports in high school because I was always moving, and yeah, tryouts are always usually in the summer. If I sound weird or stuffy, it's because of my allergies, so I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna go over this list, and if I come up with any on the spot, I'll also mention those as well. So the cons, well, we get paid below minimum wage, like way below it. And I mean, by the company that we are employed by, yeah, they don't pay us anything. It's very sad. It's super sad because we do a lot for that restaurant, you know what I mean? To only get paid, I don't even know if I should say how much we get paid, but just know it's below minimum wage. So basically it's nothing. We get paid nothing because the money that we get paid from the employer, it gets taken out for taxes due to the amount of tips that we actually make, because we actually rely on tips because they don't pay us, so we rely on tips to survive. So yeah, that's a con. We don't really get paid much by the actual people that we work for, which I think is silly. I think we should get paid at least minimum wage plus tips. So yeah, con number 2, rude customers. Let me just say that in this job, you are going to really find out about people. Like, you're really gonna see people for who they really are, because you're gonna see people for who they really are. They're gonna show their true colors, because for some reason people like to take out all of their life frustrations out on the waitress, but for some reason we tend to be punching bags for really mean people. Like, I've had some crazy-ish happen to me, and not even in just this past week. And this isn't all the time. There are good days, chill days, you really, but we're not talking about the pros right now. We're talking about the cons. So yeah, rude customers, like, you get really rude, just entitled, just terrible people. And I would get into those story times, but I don't want this video to be too long, so comment down below and like this video if you do want to hear some server story times, or should I say horror times. Con number 3, we rely on tips, which can be considered a con and it can be considered a pro. I'm saying it's a con because you don't always get tipped. You get a lot of tables that don't tip you anything because they are just the scum of the earth, terrible people. On number 4, rude coworkers. Not all of your coworkers are going to be like this, but there are going to be a few that you're going to have to deal with because for some reason they got a bad attitude. Either it's just how they are, or it's personal. You're going to have some coworkers that you're just like, WTF. Like, you need to take a chill pill. Work can be exhausting. So con number 5, work can be exhausting because you are on your feet the entire shift. If you do find a moment to sit down, God bless your heart. You take that moment and you sit there and you enjoy that minute. So it can be pretty tiring, especially when you have needy tables who every single time you go to the table they need something instead of just telling you everything they need in one go. You're doing this to the table and the kitchen. Just, oh, can I get a sweet tea? Yeah. I'll come back. Oh, can I also get a sweet tea? Yeah. Come back. Oh, and can I get a Pepsi? Who all needs drinks? Who? Who needs drinks? Tell me right now. Raise your hand and I will get all that in one trip. You need ketchup, you need ranch. Tell me everything you need right now. Right this very minute. Everything you could think of that you could possibly need right now. How annoying is that? And how annoying is that for you to have to constantly ask me for something every time I come to the table? Like, you don't get any scheduled breaks. That's con number 6, I think. I think I'm on 6. I don't know, I just kind of bullet pointed them, so I don't really know what number it is. Con number 6, no breaks. You kind of just have to find time to take a breather. So pretty much any downtime that you get during the shift, like you don't have much to do, you don't really, all your tables are caught up, you don't really have anything new, you're not busy. There are times when you do have a moment to just kind of breathe and, come back to earth. So we don't necessarily have a break room, we have a break area, which is, it's okay. It's not really my favorite place to hang out. I prefer to just kind of go outside and hang out for a few minutes, just to get fresh air and just to get away from all the chaos. And yeah, you don't get a lunch break, but so I try to eat before I go to work. I do my best to eat a good solid meal, and if not, there's usually a lot of opportunities to eat at work. You could either order something, or usually, sometimes they'll have free food, or what we call dead food, which is like food that either the customer sent back or changed their mind on, or they didn't like it, or it was, I don't know, took too long, something to where it got made, but it's not going to the table. So we get to eat it. The money can fluctuate, so you can have a really good week one week, and then another week it's not so good, or a good month one month, and the other month it's not so good. I was not stuffy like this all day, but then when I decided to make a YouTube video, so this isn't exactly a con for everyone, but for me this is a con. So con number 8, you can't wear fake nails or paint them. You can wear acrylic nails, but that's simply because they are a more permanent kind of nail. They don't necessarily pop off or chip. So that's acceptable, but it can't be too long, of course, because that can be dangerous to have really long nails in a workplace like that. I say you can't have nail polish because it chips and it can end up in the food. Obviously, glue-on nails can pop off very easily. Your nails don't really tend to be the first thing on your mind, although as a girl, they're always on my mind. But when I'm working, it's kind of like the last thing that I'm thinking about. But I do try to be cautious and careful with how I use my hands. Con number 9, you're gonna deal with pervs. It's really weird that you would have to deal with it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be male. There can be females that make you feel uncomfortable as well. I had this one lady comment on my physique one time. I was literally just walking down the aisle. I think I was coming from the restroom, and this random lady who wasn't my table, she was just some random lady that I happened to be walking by, and she was sitting by herself, and she literally stopped me and she asked me, she goes, dang, you're tiny, like how tiny is your waist? And I was like, I don't know. But it was like the way she was saying it was like very weird and creepy. She was like this older lady, and then she was just like, God dang. And I was just like, okay, keeping it moving. Like, who the fuck? You're weird. And then there was this one guy, so my coworker had come up to me and she asked me if I would help her out, and I don't know what it was she needed me to take, but she asked me to take something to this table because she didn't want to go back to the table, because when she went to the table, he was being really weird and creepy and pervy. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do it either. But at the same time, I felt really bad for her, and I was like, yeah, totally, dude, like, I got you. And so bracing myself for this man's disgusting presence, so I go up to the table, and as soon as I go up to the table, he's literally looking me up and down like, thank you, honey. Or he called me something, baby, some stupid word, some stupid name that I should have slapped out his mouth. And I was just like, ugh, like that. Like, I literally could, it was like first nature. Like, I scoffed at him and walked away. And like, I hope he heard me. But before I walked away, planted his eyes downward. This is even before I had turned around. I had just kind of like started backing up, like, and I was about to leave. But he like plants his eyes downward in order to get ready to stare at me. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Y'all got problems. Stop being weird to servers, okay? We're just trying to do our job. Thank you. Appropriate way of going about that question. Thank you. I pretty much couldn't think of any other cons. I might be able to think of some for another video, but the last one that I have is you have to keep your hair up. I like to keep my hair down. I usually wear it down. Once in a while, I will put it up, but I prefer my hair down. I think I look better with it down. So putting my hair up isn't really my favorite thing to do, especially if I have to do it every day that I work. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Okay, so going on to the pros. One of the pros is money every day. So you get money every day. You leave and go home with money in your pocket or in your bank account every day. It's really nice. You don't have to wait for a paycheck. I can't stand waiting for a paycheck. It's like torture. No, like, I work these hours. I want my money now. I want it today. Like, I always thought it was weird about how like paychecks, like, you have to wait 2 weeks. Like, that's just, oh, I hated it. I hate it. It's just so stupid. So that's one thing I do like about serving. You get your money every day. There's no waiting. So yeah, that's actually really, really nice. And it's kind of like a weight off your shoulders. Like, you're like, okay, like, if I need this money by this time, it's okay. I just have to work 2 or 3 more shifts and I'll have it. Cool. Bam. Instead of, oh my god, I'm not getting paid till next week. Oh my god, I won't have the money for 2 weeks. Like, no. You can take time off pretty much whenever you want, as long as you ask it off a month in advance. So basically, through the app that we use, we can go on and ask off time. For the most part, it gets approved. So that's pretty cool. Like, you know, most 9-to-5 corporate jobs, you only get a set 1-2 weeks paid vacation a year, and that's it. You have to work the rest of the time, apart from your little 2 days off a week, which after a while isn't enough. Like, it's just, sometimes I went 3 or 4 days off, you know? You can meet cool people at work, whether that's people you work with or people that you end up, you know, taking care of. I've met some really cool, nice people, and I enjoy a lot of the time that I have with most of my co-workers. We do have a lot of fun together, and we make getting through work bearable for each other, I feel like. Working as a server is low responsibility. It's no taking your work home. You go in, you do your job, and you go home. And then the next day is a whole nother day. It's a whole new thing. As long as your tables are taken care of, you're good. You're doing your job and you're fine. And you know, as long as you're being a good employee. It's very easy, very chill, very low responsibility, easy money, but it is a lot of work at the same time. So you can release or pick up shifts pretty much whenever you want to. It's not a guarantee that they'll get picked up or approved, but for the most part, it usually works out. There's plenty of shifts that I have not wanted to work that have gotten picked up for me, and I was super, super happy about that. So let me see. Another pro I have is that you can work night shifts. So I prefer to work night shifts because I am not necessarily a morning person. I like to be able to wake up whenever I'm ready to wake up. I don't like having to force it. I don't like having to get up with an alarm, and like, unless it's for something I want to do, like if I'm traveling, I have to catch a flight, or driving to the beach or something like that, like then it's like, okay, yeah, I can get up at 6 in the morning or whatever. But like every day on the norm, no, I can't do that. I need to be able to sleep in, and sometimes I like to stay up at night, which is not the best thing to do most of the time, but at the same time, whatever, I do it, and I want to be able to sleep in if I do that. So I work nights, and I like it. I actually make more money at night than the morning anyway, and yeah, I'm just more of a night person. Another pro is you get to listen to music. So as we all know, restaurants play music, and it can be pretty nice actually. Especially if you're a big fan of music, like I think it's super dope to be able to jam out to a song I really like while I'm at work and not get in trouble for it. You get to eat and drink on the job, and no, I don't mean alcohol, although you do sometimes get to taste alcoholic beverages. There's just a way that they let you go about that. So anyway, you get to eat most of the time. As long as we're not in a rush, you can pretty much order food whenever. And yeah, or you get lucky and get free food. So as long as you are not scheduled a closing server, you are not necessarily stuck there all night. So you pretty much are there based on the busyness of the restaurant. So if we're not that busy, you could be cut, which is our way of saying, you know, you can start doing your stuff and go home. So you can be cut early, you can be cut around 8, 9, 10, you know, you don't necessarily have to stay all night. So that's depending on the section you're scheduled in. So that's pretty nice, while still making your money. A really cool thing I think is that you working in a restaurant, you get to work with people your age, which I think is pretty cool. You can pretty much take a break as long as there's nothing really much to do. Like sometimes in a restaurant it's not really busy and you don't really have to run around like a chicken with their head cut off, so that's nice. But then there are nights where you are doing that. And then my last pro is that it's more flexible than a 9 to 5. I pretty much already listed the reasons why, but just on the hours you can work, you know, requesting time off, stuff like that. But yeah, that's my video on the pros and cons of waitressing. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.